Welcome to this section on setting the project content. When I'm going to go to my site here, and if you go to the projects page, you'll see that my projects currently are the 3 template projects. And if we go back to the site, that's because in the projects directory there are these 3 project files. Okay, and kind of have to look at it raw to kind of see how it looks. But anyway, what I'm going to do in this segment is update this to include 3 projects that are real projects that I'm actually working on. Now, it would be really boring for you guys to watch me, type this stuff out. So I'm going to, I've already written this before, and you're just going to kind of see me update the site, and hopefully that will give you some hints on how to do it yourself. What I'm going to do first is, as is noted in here, you have to have an image file for every project. I'm going to be defining 4 projects, and so I'm going to go into the images directory, and I'm going to upload some files. So I'm going to say choose my files. I'm going to go to desktop, PJ portfolio, images, and then I'm going to select, can I do this? Am I smart enough to figure out how to do, oh yeah, okay, I'm going to select those 4 files, which are square images, 300 pixels at least on a side, and therefore suitable for use in these project descriptions. Okay, so there's those 4 files. I'm going to say commit changes. And now you'll see in the images directory, in addition to these old files which are from the template, which eventually I'll delete, but I've got my new files, for example, a file for the Kukui cup. Okay, so that's super good. The second thing is to update the actual set of projects. So I'm going to start off, and I'm going to look at project 1, and I'm going to edit it. So here's project 1. Now it turns out that I have my own project 1 locally on a local file. And so what I'm going to basically do is just do a Control-A to select that, Propeller C, and then switch back over here, select everything in here, and then paste in my new project content. And if I now save this, okay, and I go back to my portfolio site and click on projects, I don't see it yet, but if I refresh, there we go. So I've just updated the old project 1, which was the MicroMouse site, with my new project content. Now, the important thing I think that's kind of cool to note about this is that I use a project URL in here, which means that the link to more data is going to go to that site. In fact, I have this old content here, but that content is going to be totally ignored. In fact, I really should have deleted it, but I kind of forgot. So it's in there, but it's not essentially accessible, because instead, when you click for more information in the site, it's going to go to kukuikup.org. So let's go back here and check that out. If we go to Kukui Cup, read more, bang, we're now at kukuikup.org. And that's a really nice feature for those of you who have projects that have their own external site that you've already developed with all the details. It's kind of redundant and a hassle, really, to try to maintain a separate detailed description of a project. The other thing you'll notice is that we have this Python, Django, and WATDepot labels, and that comes directly from the YAML front matter. Okay, so that's pretty cool. Let's go ahead and kind of do the same thing to upload our other stuff. So I'm going to go in the projects file, back in the projects file, And I'm going to say upload files again, and then I'm going to choose them. And this time I'm going to go into the projects directory, and I'm going to upload these 3 files. Remember, I've done the project one. I've kind of overwritten the project one in the template file with the contents of this project one. But now what I'm going to do is just upload these files. So it uploads them, and remember, you've got to always do this commit change for it to actually take effect. Okay. So now we've got these other 3 files, and it's kind of would be interesting to say, well, what happens? We should now actually have those things added. So if I go here, go to projects, and do a refresh, great. Okay. So what we're going to see now is that I have 6 projects. Okay. I have the projects I want, which is Kukui Cup, Moria Framework, Open Power Quality, and Watt Depot. Plus I have 2 projects I don't want, which is the Cotton and Vacay projects. So there's a couple ways I can fix this. The first way is to go back, go into this projects directory, and delete these files. So I could go to, let's say, project 2, click on this, and then find this delete icon. Okay, so I'll say delete this file, and then I'll commit the change. Okay, and so now if I go back to my site, click on this, click on projects, click on refresh, and we got rid of that vacay site. Okay. Now the other way we could do this, which I'll just show you for fun, if we go into the projects directory, still got that project 3, which is a thing we're not interested in. We could, instead of just deleting the file, which is really what I should do, but just so you see this option, I'm going to set publish to false. And this is a Jekyll thing which you can use to say, I want to keep this file around for some reason. Like, for example, maybe you've got it, kind of half developed. You don't want to have other people see it yet, but you don't want to delete the file, and you want to keep it stored on GitHub. So you can actually do published false, which means that the file can exist there, but there won't be it won't be processed. So if I now go back to here, click on projects, and click update. Okay, we see that that final file, whatever that was, Cotton, the Cotton project's no longer there. I've got exactly the 4 projects that I want. And as with all these, you can see this will go to wattdepot.org. If you look down in this lower left corner, just so I don't go to all these sites, this will go to Open Power Quality. This will go to the Moria Framework, and this will go to Kukui Cup. Again, that's because I've provided the project URL field in the front matter associated with each of these projects.